Hi everyone, my name is Alston Johnson and this is my audience.
Hi.
And this is my persuasive speech on the legalization of marijuana. I think we can all agree that this is a topic that's been up for debate for a very long time. The legalization of marijuana is a pretty big thing to talk about, ever since the 1930s when it became illegal. That's right, it has not been illegal the entire time, which is what a lot of people find very surprising and confusing is, yes, at one point it was perfectly legal, now it's not. And I agree that this plant should become legal again for so many reasons, and it's one of the topics that I feel the most passionate about. A lot of politicians hate it. For example, like our current president, Donald Trump, is not a big fan of it. Of course, you have Bernie Sanders, who is basically known for wanting to legalize this plant. And everyone that supported him was considered almost like an outcast. Why has he been the only one that has been a politician that has stood up for the rights of cannabis? I don't understand why the people that support him and his supporters are considered bad people either. People get the bad rap of being a stoner, and that's considered as being lazy and stupid, as well as uneducated and useless. And I don't understand why society feels the need to throw these people into boxes and label them as these sort of things when they can be fully productive members in society and be fully educated and be some of the smartest people today. So I want to stand up and break everything down to tell you just why it should be legal and why it really isn't as bad as most people make it sound. The Declaration of Independence was created in 1776, but what I bet you did not know is that it was made out of hemp, which is the main thing that is made out of marijuana. And so was our flag. It was also used to create the sails that got the English settlers over to America to establish the first colonies. Without hemp, you wouldn't really have the building blocks of America. America would not have been built if we had not had hemp. Hemp is a variety of Cannabis sativa plant species. In other words, you could say it has a lot to develop with our country, and our country was built on it. As I mentioned earlier, though, a lot of these people are called things as lazy and uneducated. And some of the greatest and most successful people are people who have smoked and smoke regularly. There was Walt Disney, who is the founder of almost anything you can think of movie. If it's a movie, it was probably Disney that did it. And he still holds the top screen productions, and he's been dead now for a while. Mickey Mouse is one of the most iconic icons you can possibly think of, and Walt Disney World is the #1 theme park, and it grosses and profits every single year. It's also one of the top stocks. Disney had a creative mind, and that's what most people like seeing is their inner creativity. So I give a lot of props to Walt Disney, and he clearly wasn't that uneducated because he was able to make billions upon billions. Steve Jobs also was a habitual pot smoker who invented Apple. He was one of the first people that ever invented computer software. His products now, still after his death of cancer, are at the top of their game, top of popularity, and top of production. Everything is going well with Apple, and Apple stocks are always high. Apple seems to never fall. I also believe that this plant is not sinful as it gets called by everyone else. A lot of people say that the plant is sinful and that God and other religious head figures see it as a curse into your afterlife and something that should never be done, when it was talked about in the Bible multiple times as being used by cows. Now, these cows sat and grazed for days and days on end. They weren't harming anyone or hurting anyone. Today, if you were found with even less than a gram of weed, you go to jail. You're done. And you can get up to 5 years in prison for one little itty-bitty portion of this plant. And before the 1930s, this was perfectly legal. Like I said, it was perfectly legal until President Hoover commissioned a man named Henry J. Anslinger as the federal head of the Bureau of Narcotics. He decided to delegalize Cannabis sativa, which is the actual name for the herb, and change its name to marijuana as propaganda for the public in order to make it sound more evil and dirty and nasty. So, with this happening, the newspapers decided to print fake stories about the drug and how it was a danger and it could fry your brain, make you go insane, and it was going to ruin people. And based off of no research and no investigation whatsoever, Congress decided to put a law on this. And lies and greed are the real reason why this plant is illegal today. Most people also claim that it is now the gateway drug and it's illegal because of its issues and health issues, when they should really be focusing on its health benefits. Tobacco is perfectly legal and it kills someone every 6 seconds. So is alcohol, and that kills someone every 13 seconds. But in the last 10,000 years, cannabis hasn't killed anyone at all, because there is no chance that you can overdose. Studies show that this drug is non-addictive, and it is no way in theory of being a gateway drug. So that is a complete myth. Like I said, there are many health benefits. Medical tests show that the drug has proven to treat cancer, glaucoma, schizophrenia, asthma, depression, anxiety, and so much more. Think about all we could do if we made it legal and how many lives that it would benefit. It could help so much. But if we had it, then the pharmaceutical companies wouldn't need a lot of their drugs. They would lose a lot of their profits and funding. But more people die from the prescriptions found in their cabinets than heroin, murder, and traffic accidents combined all together, which means a lot of murders. But if we were able to regulate and control the substance, that would be so much better. If we took power away from the drug dealers, who I don't think a drug dealer has ever ID'd anyone when buying marijuana, that makes it easier to buy than tobacco, cigarettes, and alcohol, which is pretty messed up. The kids are able to buy this substance easier than those two. It's predicted that the U.S. would gain $9 billion in taxes from regulation, plus another $11 billion would be saved from law enforcement and incarceration, said Professor Jeffrey Myron at Harvard. This law could be used for so much, and bringing more income in to use it on things like our environment and preserving it in education. There's millions of people in prison for things that have never killed anyone. Smoking one little plant has ruined their lives. Pharmaceutical companies are in charge because the less people saved buy their pharmaceuticals, the more that people are going to buy their pharmaceuticals and buy their pills and buy what they have. When this one simple plant could save all of that and change lives. It's already began to become legal in states like Colorado, where people now go to seek refuge in order to save their own child's life. And I don't understand why we need to feel like we need to be refugees in our own country just to have the best care for our child. This plant could save millions of lives and benefit the U.S. in so many ways, so I myself am here to stand up and make a change. Please support the legalization of cannabis. There's nothing criminal about a plant that is medical. Thank you.